Stefan. With Congolese men and women. Hello, thank you very much for joining us. A decisive program, a colorful program, an enlightening program. We invite you all to follow us with great attention. Why do I say with great attention? Because we are in a very dangerous period. Why are we in a very dangerous period? Because some things that we neglect to take lightly. After the conclave and Kenya. After Kenya. Was a conclave bringing together the Congolese in this program, the very first statement by Kabila after his conviction in this program. What did Kabila say? Like President Sekedi. Alabaki Belgium Brussels, he extends Kagame for a peace of braves. Kabila also in Nairobi yesterday, he said the same thing as was the case at the level in Brussels. He also extends his hand to President Sekedi because Kabila Abim programs. In this program, let the army do the work. Let the army advance and let the Wasalan advance as well. And also, we must be careful, and very careful. Americans. Injured people, or again, I am not saying only the Americans, trust, but we must be very careful because between nations, there is always a question of interest. Kabila. That at the level in Brussels, President Tshisekedi, apart from Combo Kagame, he had also mentioned the name, there is South African President Cyril Ramaphosa, who is today the President of the African Union. Now, there is a tete-a-tete between President Sekedi and Joseph Kabila. Because of the nuance, I could accept after 30 minutes and at the end of the Salam program, but I can never accept after 30 minutes from the end of this program President Sek Hippolyte. South Africa. Remember when Rwanda advanced around 2006, what am I saying? Around 96 to 97, Rwandans were Advancing. Dot dot dot. The President of the Democratic Republic of Congo Sodom. Here in Brazzaville before the President can arrive at the level of martyrdom in Carnival. You will understand the political reality, the reality in terms of security and the current situation. Then discover. Congolese understand because we are in the end times. The end of something is better than its beginning. At the beginning, it was Kabila who reigned. At the beginning, it was Rwanda who made the law. At this clear moment, it is now necessary through the so-called responsibilities between the Congolese delegation ASN-23. On the ground, the mandatory effect, and that is the fact there will be a commission. In Qatar to prepare Rwanda victory in Qatar. Azar prepared the fall of Sekedi. At the level of Qatar, it is the friends of AF-23. At the level of the CAT, it is a very well-organized machine so that the Kinshasa regime falls, so that Kabila can return to power. So the CC is making it mandatory at the Qatar level because I read it today and the video is available. It is a way of materializing the project announced by Kabila Kenya because Kabila announced two things. The first thing is to issue, the first thing is to ask. Not to Kinshasa but to South Africa. Kinshasa, Kinshasa. Often. Why not African? Kinshasa? Because the very last meeting with President Hippolyte Sekedi, Kinshasa, the official meeting of the nation, the swearing in of President Sekedi, when there was a peaceful transfer of power, but the very last meeting that Kabila swore in. Was at the level of the African Union when the president, the former rebel bloody president Hippolyte Kanambe presented to President Sekedi his office, he officially mentioned the African Union. Kabila asking for president's seat at the South African level, it's a plan already set up. There is a plan to assassinate president's seat. There is assassination by bullet, there is political assassination, there is also assassination by coup d'etat, but you stay and we can carry out a coup d'etat. The Madagascar level KBC, I inform you. At the Madagascar level, it is the army that has taken power since yesterday evening. Since yesterday evening, in Madagascar, it is the army that has taken power after several similar palpitations in Congo. On the political level, National Assembly Camera, Provincial Assembly Boy, at the level of the party is there the aggression and so on. The army has decided, at the Madagascar level, to take power and, at the Madagascar level, the army that has taken power, dissolves the Constitutional Court, dissolves the Senate. "6 months National Assembly like that National Assembly. Assembly. So, be careful, this is also the plan. African countries. In accordance with Paul. Now, let's talk about the matter. The problem is that if you trust in life, even the Bible says so, you will always be disappointed. That you will always be disappointed. That means, disappointment will always be on your side. Through your own struggle, through your own struggle, you will build, through your own struggle, you will take charge of your family through your own struggle. That does not mean that that is also the big Congolese question that we must ask ourselves. Why simply look at, oh Russia and, oh Belgium, oh France, oh the United States, while we are a sovereign country, an independent country? We have an army, we have services and security, we have a population, we have a nation, and today, we are attacked. Why not use our forces to try to confront the enemy? The enemy facing us is, it is a person, I can say it is a nation, it is an affordable army. It's like in a football match, what am I saying? It's like in a football match, I was going to say Barcelona team, Madagascar team. You'll see that the people of Barcelona will be comfortable because they have confidence in their team, in their club. That against a small team, there is Madagascar, but now, the Democratic Republic of Congo, because of our size, because of our power, with the confidence in the army. And so on, it's a disgrace for us. And first of all, before the coast to matter, I was simply going to comfort the Congolese morality by saying that we must first have confidence in ourselves. So that is to say, we look at the army, we say that with this Tolonga army, let's wait, let's first tell the Americans to wait. Let's advance first with what we have at hand, even the children of Israel before the Red Hand. God asked Moses the question, what are you at hand? No, I only have this simple stick, so try to throw these sticks at the level of the Red Hand. And the Red Hand split in two. There was a path that was created in the middle of the sea. That's also the big question. We have the drones, we have the money, we have the tanks, we have the blends, we have all types of weapons, all brands of weapons. So these brands, this type of weapon must be useful to us and to help us advance, to confront the enemy, because the enemy has already announced even the name of his nation, his new nation, even the name of his new government. Hurry, the images are there, the images. He came down with, please, you're going to check. When he went down to Niobe's level. They were rebels accompanied by Kabila. They were not the opposition, they had a dark project against them. Republicanda. Bombarde, he was the one who went to sign agreements to sell his Democratic Republic of Congo with a witness to his father. He had already said before that. And the one who was mandated by Kabila, Mwenga and Remo Chibanda, today Balobi, is the one who will be the Prime Minister of the Kabila government. Kabila is the president, the Prime Minister is Remo Chibanda. The Minister of Defense is already Corneille Nangaa. And they have already divided up the cake. The one who will be in charge of finance. The Congolese born here is a shameful nose, a shameful nose. I said it yesterday. Jean-Claude Vemba is being chased away even in central Congo. He is no longer part of the Congolese community. He said Kabila had a project and Kabila's project has failed. On the military level, Kabila has not succeeded in his mission. Kabila now wants to marry. The political plan and the military plan. On the military front, he is already positioning himself. And now he has to be hypocritical because Kabila has shown himself to be Ming with a F-23. Kabila has financed AFC-23 a lot. I will also tell you about the situation in Buav. So, the military court can no longer work. So, Kabila is already saying he is stupid and the whole world recognizes that I am the one who is the evolved. Author, but according to the schedule. What should be done in Kinshasa? Hearing in Kinshasa, Hippolyte sentenced to death. Political organization Congolese opponent for Kabila's cause. It didn't last, it didn't work. Kabila is on the ground, even some African heads of state, Sasu, to plead for the cause. Kabila marched. Called President Tshisekedi by phone. In Kabila's case, President Tshisekedi said no, it is justice that they do their job. It would be complicated if all the requests were accepted. Mutamba noted. So, regarding Mamba, we left it up to the justice system to do its job. So, regarding Kabila's case, intervention would not work and the president would not accept it either. For the sake of the present. Issue. At this level, President Tshisekedi remained categorical. And to understand President Tshisekedi's rigor, I invite you to follow what President Tshisekedi told Saul in Brussels. The president was open in saying that the opposition, instead of giving ideas to the governing majority, saving ideas that can help the DRC move forward, the opposition provides resources. And when we say resources, we mean in terms of millions. The 700 million, the 200 million, the 300 million, the $500 million to corrupt the Americans. To buy weapons to block certain development processes in the Democratic Republic of Congo, to also try to block the tech regime from moving forward. Now, the people of Devontobi. Kabila made the communication. You will excuse us. Kabila's communication. We have the images here, but we cannot broadcast a black message. Congolese. Kabila's communication. I will simply explain certain points. Kabila at the Nairobi level brought together Fran. Congolais from father and mother. Father. Construction, airport. Jose. At the time he was Deputy Prime Minister, Minister of Transport. Jose. Be careful. Is it? Central. Because the one who had gone to sign the 2009 agreement. 23 Sovereignty in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Franklin Chamala, they are no longer authorized to return to Kinshasa. Belgium. Belgium when Belgium together. Ethiopian. Franongo. 7 Kikuni, Franklin Chamala. Bibi Kapinga. Perluara. Jean-Claude. Canet Private, Moise Katumbi. The images are there, private in moi. At the level of the one who has the transport, the hotels, is in. Kabila said this. 2 proposals. The first proposal, Kabila requests a meeting with President Tshisekedi. South Africa. Under a mediation, there is Cyril Ramaphosa. But the one who facilitates, the one who will facilitate the thing, the steps, is Thabo Mbeki, his ideological father. That was the first question, and on the agenda of the Bongo Conclave, the first point did not generate much debate because the first point was in case we are blocked .so. It can also help us in the point of killing President Seek President South Africa. Remember, meeting. Remember the meeting. I do not know if it was in Ibiza. Did KBC meet Mobutu, Laurent Désir Kabila? Is your memory correct? Ibiza, B. Specific because I don't want to be too specific, but I know that the mediation involved Salam and Nelson Mandela in the middle, Kabila on the left, President Mobutu on the right, and Mobutu was looking for Kabila's face, and Kabila didn't want to look at Farafar Bomobu. Kabila was looking up. Was it in Ibiza or which side like that? Ibiza KBC. I'm with KBC, Butab. Where was it? Ibiza or Zaki, but it was in an African city. Mediation. In this scenario, Cyril Ramaz in the middle. Kabila on the left and the president on the right, and after having had the opportunity to do so, the deluge of the problem of chaos and the fall of the Kinshasa regime will be accomplished. That's Kabila's request. Kabila now leaves this page and the message is sent to Kinshasa. Will CKD accept? Because the invitation of President Zé Congo Brazzaville was also one of the issues with the late President. He now wants to seduce the president. There, it's on the other side, already president before martyring. South Africa. President, Dad, my son, me, your father, I will support you, since you are sending me to go and touch the fires. It's as if you were sending me to a cemetery at 3 a.m. No, I can't accept. Here, the president, yes, it's not about setting foot on the level of Russia, on the level of the United States. The president. It's the people who decide. No question of meeting Kabila. No question of Ibiza like in the time of Kabila, Kabila and Mobutu, Laurent, Kabila and Mobila. On the new republic. The new republic will be a progressive republic. Why do I say the new republic? Why do I say a progressive republic? A republic that will begin to evolve over time. Follow us closely. Bazo declared a new republic that would be made up of certain territories and certain cities. As the republic progressed, the area would begin to increase until they reached Kinshasa and the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC. The RDCT, Democratic Republic of Congo, would change, just like in the Zaire. There was the Republic of Izé Republic when the rebels, the Democratic Republic of Congo, it didn't have democracy with elections, but it had elections, there was no democracy. Democracy is with President Jesus. You see me coming every day. I live in Kinshasa. I live in Kinshasa. When something doesn't work, I speak up. We, Stefan, Gilala, Chancelatala, we are in Kinshasa. When we talk about the country, when we criticize, when we do our investigations and publish, we are in Kinshasa. We are not afraid of anything. I am in Kinshasa, a time to be born, there is a time to live, there is also a time when we will die. So, what would I be afraid of? At this level now Gaboli. Congo must change. And the Congolese territory will begin to increase gradually over time. Discuss the sharing of power. First of all, Congolese politicians when it comes to the cake, when it comes to political power, but when we are invited to march against the Rwandan aggression, Belgian. Politicians. At the time, I saw images of sick, in very good health. Congolese politicians. Fran. Democracy. Yes, it no longer has democracy because cooperating with a bloodthirsty person, cooperating with a rebel, cooperating with someone who kills in Congo, is the same as power. Okay. We are going to launch a new company. This new company is DGDGAPCA in charge of broadcasting, technical director, sales director, operations director, in charge of education, in charge of personnel, administration and other companies. He is the king. Alobi. Matata has experience in finance. Matata will remain in finance. Exploit. So, yesterday it was sharing in continuity, no cameras. It was simply the world. At the moment, we have to be careful. We are with you.
So,
Is it that? Each of us by force. But the same am. A little complicated facing the Democratic Republic of Congo? Kabila today declares that he wants to give a new name. Give the new name, that means he is going to create a new republic. The new republic will be announced tonight according to their Combo and Combo New Republic program. A republic cannot be managed by everyone, by a rebellion. No, a republic managed by an official administration. Nairobi. Kabila will now appear as the president. There is space occupied, and this space occupied by government. Or society, that is to say the republic will be progressive, the republic will be evolving, understand the terms that I use, so. Surface area. That is their plan. So, let's announce the coffee. So that at 3 o'clock, 1 a.m., self-defense. The coup of the South. African state. 2. Plans. I don't have the name in mind yet. Even if I had the name in mind, well, I can't start announcing the name already because it could also affect the memory, especially the Congolese, our children remember, it would be chaos. So at that very moment, there is a press release published. At the DOA level. No, it's complicated. It's complicated that up to that level. That's complicated. We are sent a press release, the end of the discussions at the Nairobi level, at the DOA level, between the Congolese delegation and the FC 1223. We say to ourselves, our discussions cannot take several moments, several days, and it cannot also consume our time. We must first at some point get through the holidays. But we are going to establish, throughout the entire national territory, a permanent, controlled and enforced ceasefire. For the remaining 2.5 months, 2.5 months in Pamba. "15 days in October, 30 days in November and 31 days in December. How many days? 76 days. The 76 days requested by Qatar and Qatar. Qatar. Accepted. Supposedly, the Congolese delegation accepted AF-23 and applauded the CCF on the ground. That's the fact that 76 days, we are going to celebrate in peace. Like that, we are going to resume discussions in January 2026. It's a trap, KBC, I say it, it's a trap. We are going to risk. Kinshasa. Be careful. Because my memory will remind me that yesterday you fell to this point. Intelligence must play a role when I get to where I fell yesterday. Intelligence. And, let me just say that yesterday, if the city of Kanyabayonga fell, it was due to a humanitarian truce. If the city of Skwe, 27 kilometers from the city of Goma, fell, it was due to the ceasefire. Bav, let's not talk about it. Goma, let's not talk about it, and so on. It was a mix of the ceasefire, infiltration, and distraction. There are certain things that we were already saying well before. Which, considering that we were not going to get to this point when we said, no question of a humanitarian truce. When we say, humanitarian truce, it was imposed by the international community to establish peace and also help displaced people, but that was not the case. There were diseases, epidemics, and epidemics at the level of Goma, at the entrance. So, today, we are told to stop the fact during this entire end-of-year period, while, understand, there is a military development. We are investing resources, rigor, and technical expertise, and we should note that some American specialists are now working with them. And their anti-aircraft technology is operating in an insecure position. So, what should we do? We must now adopt an easy strategy. What is an easy strategy? It is to shut the mouths of the Congolese people so that we can easily make them Mekele. What does that mean? And impose a humanitarian truce on us during this end-of-year period. However, the end-of-year period here was to declare a period of liberation, a very decisive period, a period of recovering and reconquering all the localities, whether they are towns, cities, or territories. The restoration and installation of the state authority is at 2345000. KM from Karichi Nabiso BC. The distraction the government of Kinshasa you will accept for what. Let's first follow this short video with dispense chain. We arrive.
American Dream. 10 Chain Investment Group. American Dream. A's precise city. Today it is possible. For 30 years, do not make a mistake with Address Chain Investment Group. You want to buy a house in the United States? The real estate agency Dispensation Investment Group of ID Global based in Dallas gives you the opportunity. All you have to do is pour an appent to acquire a property that you will pay gradually over 30 years. Yes, you heard correctly, over 30 years. Contact us at +1,737,420,804. +1-469-720-6093 or +1-737-548-51. Dispensation Investments Group. Invest in your future with real estate in the United States today. More precisely, United States, Dallas, today, it's possible. Country for 30 years. Don't be mistaken, Greece. International brand music.
There you go, we're back. It was Dispensation Investment Group. Buying in the United States is easy and simple. And in the United States, it's precisely in downtown Dallas where Dispensation Investment Group signed a partnership agreement with the American government. Here, we salute Master Coach Raphael Dunet, who makes available to Congolese people at a low cost. There are plots, there are dimensions, there are $100,000 and there are plots, there are dimensions, there are $50,000. But it's simple, with just $5,000, you already have your plot. $5,000 in Pamba plot. Permanent visa United States. By 5,000 yard. $5,000 but. $100,000 $50,000 United States by the facility to Dispense Investment Group because. Travel United States. Visa United States. When you will arrive on site, yourself, you will choose the plot. Position because it is a very stable and very viable environment. So on site, there are also construction companies. With an incredible particularity. On site at the city center. Percent. Global. Amount 30% globalized. Construction. Gradually in a somewhat long time. For 15 years, for 20 years. There with Dispensation Investment Group, call this number. Dispensation Investment Group also helps the Congolese, not just Dallas, United States. Kinshasa. Kinshasa Province. Do you want to buy in Kinshasa at a lower cost? The total amount is there, but you will just give a little money. When you give a little bit of money to France, Dispensation Investment Group, a construction company at your disposal. France, Belgium. In a year. In 6 months, in 7 months. So the best place to buy in the United States, Dallas, the best place to buy in Congo, is with Dispensation Investment Group. See you later. Hap Stefan. Oh ye.